So, you have to write a research paper. For some of you, this might mean going to Google, typing in your general topic and using information from the first two or three results that you find. For others, this might mean trying to find out everything you possibly can about your topic. Unfortunately, neither of these approaches is likely to get a great results. To be done right, research needs to be guided by focused research questions. Without a good research question, you'll probably end up with a paper that never really comes together because you didn't have a clear direction. But what exactly is a research question? At the most basic, the research question is just a question related to your topic that needs to be answered. The whole purpose of your research will be to provide an answer to the question. You're probably thinking that this doesn't sound too difficult if a research question is just a question about your topic. It should be easy to come up with one, right? Well, not exactly. For many students, developing a research question is actually one of the hardest parts of the whole research process. In some cases, a student might not know enough about their topics to even understand the kinds of questions that are possible to ask. Even if the student has some knowledge about the topic, they may still not have a good idea of the whole scope of the topic or recent developments related to the topic. For this reason, it's usually a good idea to try to do some background research before trying to settle on a specific question. This doesn't have to be extensive or time-consuming. For many of you, simply looking at Wikipedia article or for recent new articles related to your topic will be enough to give you some ideas for directions that you want to explore. Once you have a bit background information, you'll be better able to focus your topic into a good research questions. But what makes a question a good research question? There are several things that you need to keep in mind. First, a research question should not be too narrow or too broad. If you could answer your questions with a few facts, you're not researching, you're just searching. On the other hand, if you would need to write an entire book to appropriately answer your questions, and it's probably not a good idea you either, at least at this level, your question also needs to be specific questions, such as, is a television a bad influence? Is very vague. Which television programs are you talking about? What audience are you talking about? What exactly do you mean by bad? Making your questions a bit more precise will give you more directions for your research. Research questions would also have some significance. It should be something that interests you because you will be spending some time with a topic, but it should also be something that other people might find important as well. This doesn't mean that your research topics like popular culture or sports or social media. It just means that you need to frame your research in such a way as to make sure the topic is relevant to more than just you. While you want your topic to be significant, you also want to be careful not to ask the type of questions that can really be answered. Questions such as why must people suffer or what happens after we die or certainly significant to many people but very difficult to answer. Keep in mind that research papers are not intended to be philosophical treatises, so as you can see, asking any old questions related to your topic won't work. Fortunately, many poor research questions can be transformed into a good research questions with only a few tweaks. For example, the questions of why must people suffer could be transformed into a more focused question such as how have major 20th century Christian theologians explaining the purpose of human suffering. You might also want to make your research questions a little bit unique or creative. Some topics have already been researched over and over and over, and you might want to avoid those topics if you can. If you do have a common topic, it's often a good idea to try to find a slightly different angle, something that allows you to add your own twist. After all, research should not be about asking questions that have already been answered many times before.